What's up guys, Jake with DNT. Welcome to a special nighttime video. Today we are actually talking about a new night vision device that will essentially turns any optic you've got into night vision. Today we are looking at the DNT NVMD-C200. This is actually a night vision magnifier that essentially turns any red dot, or in this case a hollow sun thermal, into night vision, or at least gives it night vision capabilities. Today we're going to go over the specs and features of this particular device, give you my thoughts and impressions of it, and let you know it's worth your time, but more importantly your hard-earned money. So with all that being said, let's see how she does. Now, the reason why we're up here in the middle of the woods in the middle of the night here soon is because this is digital night vision. I think it's very important to properly test this kind of device to see if it's actually going to hold up when there's no ambient lighting whatsoever. Out here in the middle of my property, there's literally no lighting. Now, I've got some light sources if I need it. We're going to really properly test this thing because this particular device does not have an emitter. No IR emitter at all. They told me that up front. I said, cool, go ahead and send it out. I've got my own devices we can use that are going to emit IR light. Let's see how it does with those. So going over the specs and features of the NVMD-C200 from DNT, this is a digital magnifier. Of course, it's got 4 different functions. It can be a digital magnifier, but can also serve as a standalone optic, a clip-on, as well as just being a standalone spotting scope that you carry around with you to get a little sneak peek of your target from a distance. There's a whole bunch of different features to it: eye relief, refresh rate, all that good stuff. There's a lot of different things you may be interested about. Particularly to me, for me, the things that really stand out is, number one, it's got 3 different night visions mode as well as a color mode. So if you want to use it during the daylight hours, you can. But really, this is going to stand out a lot more to you if you use it at nighttime. That's really what it's meant for. It features a black and white mode for their night vision, but it also features like a traditional analog green phosphor as well as a white phosphor night vision mode as well, for those that may be more accustomed to those types of vision. It uses a single 18650 rechargeable lithium battery that gives you roughly about 6 hours of runtime. It comes at a price of $500, not nearly as expensive as what you would typically pay for analog night vision. Now, zoom in here, and yeah, you can adjust that reticle to be more centered up with your camera view there. Is this going to be as good as analog night vision? No, honestly, it's not. It's not going to be as good as analog night vision. However, when it comes to digital night vision, which is a whole different ball game, yes, it is very good. And for $500, that's a really good price to get into it. On top of that, you can actually get a bundle with it that gives you this little swivel QD attachment mount system where you can basically move it to the side like you do with a magnifier for like $600. So not a bad price at all. It all lines up very well. Now, I actually tested this on 3 different optics. At first, I used it on my EOTech 512, which, spoiler alert, don't do that, because if you are like me and you try using a non-night vision compatible EOTech, even on the lowest brightness setting, it will not work. As you can see here in this footage, it looks absolutely terrible. Mistake number 1, make sure you use a night vision compatible optic. Now, after realizing this, I went ahead and got an XPS3, which does have night vision compatibility, and you can see it looks a lot better under an actual night vision compatible optic. And you can tell it actually looks significantly better. It's not so blown out. Now, in order to properly give you guys a good view of this, I do have a PVS 14 that's going to be attached to this particular Sony camera. I will be using a PVS 7 that's helmet mounted back here. There is a helmet, and you can't see it because it's behind the bag, but there is a PVS 7 attached to it there. I'll be using that, but you'll have the bare quality experience with the PVS 14. You'll be able to see my IR mirror as well as IR lasers, and kind of give you an idea of how this thing looks. While you can run this with the hollow sun thermal, I already know some of y'all are going to be thinking, oh, I could run digital night vision along with the thermal that's built into the hollow sun DRS here. And I'm just going to go and tell you it doesn't really work out. I've got some footage here to show you that. It's kind of, yeah. All right, guys, so it's starting to get dark as shit out here, just as we anticipated. Kind of scared, but hopefully nothing happens. That's why we got night vision. All right, you guys should be able to see me pretty good now. I actually had to back up a little bit here to get the focus properly. Yeah, it's dark as shit out here. Like, I'm sure it looks good for you guys, but I can't see anything. And you're looking through the PVS 14 right now. Now, I'm gonna go in IR mode here. So you guys can see there is a laser coming out. I can see it on the preview screen of my camera, but you can't see it visibly. If I go one more over, there is, I guess, yeah, I can see it on the camera, but I can't see it on my visible eye. But there's like an emitter right there. Now it's pitch black out here, okay? Like, you can't see shit. Now looking through here, I can see this is what it appears to look like with my IR emitter, and I can do some things to widen that out or narrow it a little bit. All right, so yeah, this is what it looks like. I could turn this up a little bit here, and it's a little bit brighter now. By the way, my EOTech's on, so let me turn that on real quick. Very blinding, but if I go into night vision mode, it becomes much more usable. Let me turn off the IR emitter real quick. This is night vision mode, so very, very much usable. Of course, I'm running this in white phosphorus. You can also run it in, I guess this is full color, which is kind of crazy. I don't see how that works. Black and white. That actually works out very well. Green, typical green. Now, I'm not going to keep on that because that'll get confusing. And then we've got the white phosphor. But you know what? I'm going to switch it to black and white because I think that looks really freaking good. Full color for daylight use. But this right here, honestly, that's really good. That's like really, really, really freaking good. Let's try the laser out here. Now, I can't see the laser with the naked eye, but you can see it clearly on the night vision device. The second most important thing you need to know about this is what I've already mentioned, and that is you need to have an IR emitter. I'm very sad to say that I picked up an SMS laser XMFC, whatever it's called, the 4-in-1. It's like a $200 light laser, visible light, visible laser, 4-in-1 thing. And it was very disappointing. In fact, it makes my whole night vision experience not so good. As you can see, there's a lot of splotchiness when I use the IR emitter that's attached to my rifle. It does not look good at all. Now, one thing to point out is this is not the fault of the DNT night vision magnifier, the one I've got here, the C200. This was 100% on me. This is 100% my fault because I should have tested out this emitter beforehand. But thankfully, you can see that even without an IR device, even though they highly recommend you use an IR device, even without one, as long as you've got some kind of ambient light, it does pretty dang good with what it's got available to it. Now compare my footage to some footage from Texas Plinking that I am stealing here without letting him know. Shout out to Texas Plinking. He actually put out the first major third-party review I've seen of this thing. And he clearly has a much better IR light than I do. I have more of a laser ambi-module light source. He's got, I think, a Surefire Vampire or some sort of bigger and better IR light. And clearly it makes a difference. So point number 2 is you have to use a good quality IR light with this if you're in a place such as the woods or in a dark building where there may not be any ambient light available to you. Hang on one second. I got breaking news here. Hold up. Turns out that having a proper IR emitter is going to be more important than I even stated in this video. It turns out that not only do you need a mirror, you need to have a good one because the FMXC, whatever it's called from SMS Laser, turns out that the flood on that is much like looking through a petri dish. Now, in all seriousness, after going through everything I've done to make this video, after going out there filming at night, risking my life to bears, after everything, reviewing the product, I went out and bought this. This is actually one of those El Cheapo little IR lights. You can get this off Amazon. Okay, so there it is right there. You see it. I know, doesn't look like much, but here's the thing. I literally just went outside and I took this night vision device, the C200 from DNT. I put this literally like one of these numbers right here, kind of sort of simulating what it would be like on the rifle. This freaking thing, which is like, I don't know, like $20 or $30, if that, on Amazon. I'll put a link down below if you want to help support the channel. Go ahead and buy that on there. It turns out this IR light that you could easily just get a couple of little ring mount things for your Picatinny rail is way better than my SMS laser aiming module that I was using out in the woods. In fact, you can see I have some footage. I literally just took this footage like 10 minutes ago outside. It's got some ambient light in the front yard, and the backyard's got a little bit less ambient light. I've got some footage of both the front and backyard, and you can see, holy cow, like, does this make a difference? I like to point out the fact that in the ambient light where there's like dark spots, dark shadows, this blows those shadows away. And when you're in the backyard, you can see that clearly it lights up everything. And it looks a lot more like what Texas Planking did with his video. I don't know what IR device he had, but holy cow, like this $15 or $20 light, I really wish I had it when I was out in the woods, because I really think it would have made a difference for me, even if I just literally electrical taped it to my rifle. I don't know. This is East Tennessee. We do this. I did speak to some of the people over at DNT over the phone. They are actually in the process of making their own IR torch to work specifically with the NVMD, what they're calling the QT940 nanometer IR light. The key difference here is this IR light is your more common one, like you see for security cameras. It's red, got the little glow to it there. The 940 nanometer IR lights, they actually don't emit any kind of visible light. We will be doing a follow-up video in the future showing the complete bundle, the NVMD combined with their 940 nanometer IR torch. Stay tuned for that. From my experience out here in the woods, I want to mainly focus on using it as sort of like a magnifier that goes behind your EOTech, or red dot for that matter, to see how effective it could be. I was going to use it as a clip-on night vision device with my scope. However, after seeing how terrible my IR emitter was, I thought it'd be better just to show you Texas Planking's footage instead so that you can see for yourself. And also go check out his channel. Much bigger than me, but still he did a very fantastic job showing off more of the clip-on features than I did with my night with it. I just wanted to clear that up for you guys, because looking at my footage at night vision, some of it doesn't look so good. And again, it's because my IR mirror was very splotchy and very sad. Okay, so we are inside because it's absolutely freezing outside. We got that cold front coming in from Canada, and it's very cold. So didn't want to freeze my ass. I wanted to kind of show you just a little bit of close action here of the actual device itself. So like I said, if you get the bundle, you get this little swivel clip-on thing here. It allows you to move it to the side as you need to, or rather that way I should say, to get out of the way whenever you're using a red dot, or I guess for that matter a scope if you're using clip-on mode. Right here at the very top you've got 4 buttons. So right here you've got your power button. You just press it to turn it on, and you'll see a little blue light comes on there. This next button here, you can actually press and it'll start recording footage for you, video clips. You can adjust it to be just a few seconds, up to just 3 or 4 minutes even. On top of that, if you press and hold it, it'll actually switch between your different night vision modes, starting with color, which is more for daylight use, but also you can switch it to black and white, green phosphor, as well as white phosphor. And if you press and hold it again, it'll go back to color. Now up here is something very interesting. You'll see this has actually got a knob here. This is actually a knob that you can turn, and it will adjust your magnification anywhere from 1 to 6. And depending on which mode you have selected, clip-on or magnifier or scope mode, you will have different levels of magnification available to you. On top of that, there's a button up here. You press and hold that, and it'll open up your menu for you. And you can go through there and really refine everything, zero your reticle that's built in here if you're using it as a standalone optic, or you can adjust your image so that way it lines up with your rec. You'll see this right here. This is actually a USB-C connection. This is actually where you're going to connect to your computer to get footage off, or you can also charge it if you want to from that as well. It does use an 18650 battery that just goes in right here on this side. Excuse me, I tapped this by accident. And of course, they give you symbols there to indicate which side is positive, which side is negative. Now, like a lot of different devices out there of this nature, you do have a front focus. This is going to be your primary way of actually focusing, because if you've ever used night vision or thermals for that matter, you do have to manually focus based on the distance. There is no autofocus in this, but that's again typical with night vision and thermal devices. And the front here, this is the front side, you'll actually use this side here to sort of adjust your own eyesight, so that way you can see the menus and stuff more clearly. Once you've got this front one adjusted properly to your particular eyesight, then after that I would start using this on a regular basis. One cool thing I like about the mounting here is it's very easy. Like, all you have to do is just press and hold that, and then you just loosen it up. Okay, standard Picatinny rail, nothing special here. Okay, you loosen that up, and then when you've got where you want it to go, you tighten it down and it locks into place. Every Picatinny rail is slightly different, right? So this will fit on any Picatinny rail, regardless if it's in spec or not. You can adjust this right here. At first, I thought you take a flathead and you're supposed to twist it. No. What you do is you take this and you kind of push it. See how it pushes it out there? The screw head? You push it out, and then with your spare finger, this is going to be very hard to do on camera, but you can essentially, see how I just moved it? You can move it, tighten it, or loosen it while the head's sticking up. See that? And once you have it where you want it to be exactly, you bring it down, and it actually sits very nice. It actually has a hexagonal shape in the hole, so it kind of locks it in place regardless of how far or how much you turn it. Okay, I'll try to zoom in a little bit more so you can see that. Get you some decent lighting. You guys see that? Yeah, now you can see it. If it wants to focus, of course. But that hole shape is hexagon to match, so that way it locks in place in case your particular Picatinny rail is a little bit out of spec. So, very good on them. No real tools needed to actually make that adjustment. I thought you needed a flathead. Turns out you really don't need anything at all. You just kind of have to wobble it just a little bit to get that head to pop out for you. So, good on them for that. Oh yeah, I can hit those targets. Now the ones further away, I can't really see, but the one up close, yeah, I can hit that all day. No problems at all. I gotta tell you, this is without a doubt the best night vision device you can get outside of going analog. It was able to perform very well, even with the most adverse lighting conditions and, well, the shittiest IR devices you can have. In fact, the demonstration I gave with this El Cheapo IR light that I just bought 2 days ago really demonstrates how much power you're actually getting in this NV device. The sheer difference from just getting one of these and say mounting it to your rifle versus a tactical IR laser aiming module, that's another story for another day, but the difference is profound. Like, you get a good quality IR device like this, and if you pair it up with the C200, holy cow. I mean, I would take this all day, every day. Now, the good news is that DNT is actually getting ready to come out with their own dedicated IR device. I don't know what it looks like. I don't know if it's going to be like this, or if it's going to be something more powerful. My understanding is it's going to be really good. Perfect to match up with the C200. It may not quite be on the product page just yet, but just rest assured it is coming. Very looking forward to that, DNT. If you guys want to send it out to me to try out, that'd be pretty cool. I really think this is something special. So, after my most recent experience using a proper IR emitter, would I get this? Yes, absolutely. It is without a doubt the best. Super clear with a good quality IR device like this. I gotta be honest with you, it's almost hard to tell the difference between analog and digital. Like, it's guys, it's right there. Like, it's so close. It's right there. It doesn't make sense really financially to go up any higher. For that, I like it, and I think you're gonna like it too.